Welcome back. And Daily Graphic is starting this morning. Photographs of Togbe Afede, the elected president of the National House of Chiefs, Sheikh Usmanu Sharbutu, the chief imam, and the most Reverend Philip Nama, the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference there. And the story says, vote for Ghana to preserve peace. 3 leaders urge voters. And 4 political party reps call for unity at Daily Graphic Town Hall meeting. Graphic launches hashtag Ghana Vote 2016. Also on the front page of the Daily Graphic, NPP accuses president of allegedly bribing Bugri Nabu. And a key one here, president inaugurates Kotokraba market in Cape Coast. The story is captured on the back page with a photograph of the market. The Ghanaian Times says, Kaswa interchange inaugurated. Photograph here, looking at the sprawling facility there. And no order be die. President is said to have said that election will be peaceful. 2,000 security personnel to be sent from Accra for poll duties. That's stories on the Ghanaian Times. Daily Guide says NPP accuses Mahama over cash V8 car. That story will attract our attention this morning. Today newspaper says Mahama desperate for power as he commissions uncompleted assembly building. The Punch, JDM magic in Kaswa as he opens another interchange. Photograph of the interchange on the front page. The Ghanaian Observer says Bugri Nabu bribe saga. NPP nails Mahama as president's move to destroy Nana fails. And Samia Uku wants EC to kickstart rigging plot with special voting. I mean, those are issues that we'll take a look at. Right, those are the stories on the pages of the newspapers. My guest this morning to my right is a member of the NDC team and a legal practitioner, Abraham Amalba. Good morning.
Good morning.
And hope you're doing great.
Very well.
Some few more days to the D-Day.
Yes.
Right, and I hope the campaign is going on well.
It's going well. It's for us to take. And December 7th, we'll see the president retaining power. So there's no fears.
Grateful. Welcome once again to our studios. To my left is a women's leader of the NDP, Madam Peace Aye. Good morning too.
Good morning.
And hope you're doing good.
I am doing
and
very
for
well.
the NDP, how's your campaign going?
Campaign is going very well by the grace of God, and the team are out there last minute trying to solicit for votes. And I am in Accra trying to do my best. And I believe that the time has come for Ghanaians to make this change, so they would vote for NDP.
All right.
I thank you, all my cherished listeners this morning.
Okay, I'm grateful. We'll see what happens on December 7th. And then a former legal advisor to former President Kufuor, Madam Vicky Bright, is also with us. Good morning too. And how are you?
Good morning, Great. I'm very well, thank you. By God's grace.
Right.
And good morning to your viewers.
Good morning too. And how's the campaign going?
Oh, the campaign is going very well. It's going very well. Our flag bearer, you know, we are all awed by the reception that Ghanaians are giving us and the need for change, which we now feel is palpable.
I am grateful for your time. Right, so let's take a look at this story. The Ghanaian Observer puts it, Bugri Nabu bribe saga. NPP nails Mahama as president move to destroy Nana. That's how the Ghanaian Observer puts it. The Daily Guide says, NPP accuses Mahama over cash V8 car. The Finder puts it, NPP accuses President Mahama of bribery. And other papers have carried this story. And the story says that the NPP says it has uncovered a plot to destroy the flag bearer of the party. And that plot is to influence its Northern Regional Chairman, Daniel Bugri Nabu, with cash and vehicle for him to smear the party's flag bearer, Nanado. Now, we're told that Bugri Nabu was said to have received some 500,000 cash, a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero 4-wheel drive, and some other car, and some 3.3 million cedis. We're told of a meeting that was held, that the deal was struck. We're also told the NPP showed the vehicles parked in the yard at their headquarters, but the NDC has denied the allegation and says it is spurious. That's how they describe it. Right. Vicky, let me start with you. So, your party says that this is something they have uncovered.
Yes.
and aimed at destroying Nana Addo through the Northern Regional Chairman?
Yes, I mean, you know, as far as we are concerned, the facts of that matter, the meeting that happened were painstakingly laid out at the press conference yesterday. We believe everything that was read out yesterday. As far as we are concerned, the president's brother delivered 500,000 cedis to Mr. Bugri Nabu, our Northern Regional Chair, and also a brand new car followed a few days later. Mylan Investment imported the car, and that company is actually owned by the president's sister, Madam Hawa, and also Mr. Allo, who is personal assistant to the president. Ownership of the car was then transferred from Mylan Investment to Bugri. I mean, these are all documented. Nobody is making up ownership documents unless you're saying DVLA just conjured up.
So there was a transfer of vehicles.
There was a transfer of vehicles. And then the rest of the smear follows on, that he was instructed to resign a few days later and then accused Nana Addo of, you know, tribalism, inciting Northerners against him, and then here he was supposed to leave the country and come back later. For me, you know, it is not, one has to look at this whole thing in the context of corruption generally. That we have experienced under this administration. So it is not surprising that the NDC are denying it. As I said, things like the documents, the transfer documents, are there for all to see. Of course, NDC will deny it. We feel it's a desperate last-minute attempt by NDC to try and turn things around, because we feel Ghanaians are ready for a change. Our leader, Nana Akufo-Addo, is incorruptible. A lot of smear attempts have been made against him, but nothing has been found against him. President Mahama, sadly, is the only president since independence who has been found culpable by SHRAJ, you know, by a state institution, of actually not following his own conflict rules. And that to me is very significant, because he is a head of state and he has to lead us by example. So, I mean, corruption has been rife, unfortunately, in this administration, and all of us are suffering as a result of it. We've had Smarties, we've had Chichinga, we've had Pampas, we've had the Ford expedition story, we've had guinea fowls, you know, the SADA, I mean, everything, everywhere you look, there's corruption. If we were even asked to believe as Ghanaians that guinea fowls flew from wherever, from the north to Burkina Faso. So how much really?
Why is that not a joke?
Well, I mean, right, let's...
Okay, but so let's take a look at these, the fallout of these press conference allegations. First of all, how would you react to the concerns that, well, you're giving cash, you're giving cars, and the first thing to do is to report to the police, but Mr. Bugri Nabu did not? Yes,
because there's a time and place for everything. The first thing to do ordinarily will be to report to the police. But if you want to prove your case, you need the evidence to prove the case.
And evidence is to put the money in your bank account?
The evidence is to put the money, to have the money somewhere. You can't keep that kind of money at home. And the evidence is to have the car and to have the documentation.
The police is open on Saturdays?
Oh yes, the police is open on Saturdays. But the point I'm making is that, you know, until you bring this thing to public attention, you have to find ways to preserve the information. You know, and these are very sensitive times.
The suspicion is that if you take it to the police, they might cover the whole incident.
No, the suspicion is that, well, I don't know whether it's a suspicion. All I'm saying is that I don't think he's done anything wrong.
By not reporting bribe. Don't forget, the law on bribe says that the giver and the taker are all guilty.
Sure, sure. The law does say that. And he is, I mean, it's out in the public domain now, ready for investigation. It is not too late for him to go and report. I don't know whether, as we speak, Mr. Bugri Nabu has reported or not reported the incident. I don't know. So whether or not he's reported it to the police is a moot question.
Okay.
I don't know that.
All right. So an issue happens in October. We are in November. It's not being reported to the police. The public is being told that it was bribery. Does this really sound as if Mr. Bugri Nabu is ready to go to the police?
Well, why not? Why not? Because once you bring these things out, I mean, the kind of money is involved in that, Iyoko might even be interested in the case. So yes, once it's out in the public domain, then it shows the person's readiness to deal with it in a legal context, if need be. You know. So as far as we are concerned, as I said, this whole thing is about corruption, 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 and more corruption. And Ghanaians are just tired. You can wing it, you can come out and say this person is a thief, this person is a liar, but at the end of the day, facts are facts. Corruption is corruption.
The allegations, they are not fact yet.
Well,
are you able to answer why Mr. Bugri Nabu was not at the press conference?
I don't know why he wasn't at the press
Your party
conference.
has not also told you why he was not there.
No, I don't know why Mr. Bugri Nabu was
Would
not
your
at the
story
press
have been
conference.
more credible if Mr. Bugri Nabu was at the press conference?
Mr. Bugri Nabu is not denying the facts. He's not denying I mean, we can't sit down as a party and just conjure up this kind of information. I mean, we cannot do that. You know, and the guy, the person who is the one who had direct involvement in this, in the sense that he was the one who was attempted to be bribed, etc., etc. He's not denying anything. I mean, I've seen this morning all sorts of letters or something made up saying that his office is denying any knowledge of this on social media.
So he has not denied it?
No, he hasn't denied it.
Mr. Bugri Nabu has not denied it.
He has not denied it. That's
And he has not come out
it's-
to say that indeed what the party is saying is true.
But have you not seen the DVLA documents with the,
I have
the
seen
transfer?
them.
Yes.
I have seen
I
them.
mean, so
But those are allegations until they are proven to be right.
Well,
So since people are contesting that this might not be true, will Mr. Bugri Nabu come out to say that indeed this is the situation and I was bribed? Will he come out?
well, if Mr. Bugri Nabu has had a problem with what was done, he would have come out to say so, because these are big things that have been alleged. It's a disgrace. I think, I mean, this whole thing is a disgrace.
But if you are alleging, why do you want to call it a disgrace? Since you are alleging, and so perhaps you should wait for the findings to be done. I think the police is the right person, the right institution to do the investigations. And so until now, you have not gone there. So how do you conclude that it is true?
Well, there are certain things that have happened that we believe entitle us to say that it's a disgrace. For example, it is a fact that the company that imported the car is Marlin, I think they're called. That is a fact. I mean, whether or not it's part of a bigger allegation is another matter, but that is a fact. It is also a fact that that car was then transferred. The car that was imported by the company was then transferred to Mr. Bugri Nabu. And it is also a fact that the owners of the company or the people who are involved in the company include people who are very close to the current administration.
Close friends and relatives of the president cannot do business? Is that what you're
Of course
suggesting?
they can do business.
Of
course they can do
Bugri Nabu
business.
cannot buy a car from Mr. Mohammed's sister?
Where is the evidence that he paid them for the car? Has Mr.
But
Mohammed's
you
sister
should
come
prove,
back
you have only document of transfer.
No, if they are saying that the car was bought, then they should show that there was a transfer of money from Mr. Bugri's account into the car. After all, when we all buy cars, that's how we pay for it. Either you get a loan from the bank, in which case the bank, still gives you the money to go and pay the car company, or you have your own money and you go and pay. Either way, there has to be evidence of the money moving from you to the car sales person.
I see. What is the relationship between your Northern Regional Chairman and the President?
The president, as in the current president,
Yes.
I don't know what the relationship is between them. I don't know what their actual personal relationship is.
Okay.
What we do know is what has happened, and that is what we have put out there because we feel that Ghanaians are entitled to know, because this is something that borders on the integrity of the administration. And if you're leading a country, then there are certain principles that you have to follow.
Okay. So your conclusion is that it is a bribe. I'm grateful, Vicky. Madam Pisaye, so you heard the story and you have followed what the NPP is saying. Now, what is your reaction to it? NPP says it is a bribe.
Well, as at now, I would just say Mr. Bugri Nabu needs to come out to clarify the situation. Then I can, or I would say the others can decide on it. Because as at now, he hasn't said anything. But there is the evidence of things, the vehicle, the money that has been transferred. All these states tells us something, but it's just an allegation, I would say. For now, it's just an allegation. So we would need Mr. Bugri Nabu to come out and tell us that, yes, this was given because of this and this and that. That is one side. The other side, if it is true that the NDC gave Mr. Bugri Nabu these things, I'll say, to discredit
the flag bearer of the NPP.
I don't think it's right for them to have done that. They are denying it. But why was the vehicle given? Have they clarified that? Why was the vehicle given to Mr. Bugri Nabu? Why was the money transferred into his account? We need to know all these things. Are they denying that the money was not given to him? We need to know these things. So to me, both sides are coming out with facts, and I would say NPP is coming out with facts that they are aware of. We need Mr. Bugri Nabu to come out with the real truth about this. And then NDC also needs to give the public, give us reasons why this vehicle was given to Mr. Bugri.
Let me ask you this before I go to Mr. Amali. But some have raised concerns that the NPP is not helping in the fight against corruption by not reporting this incident that happened in October to the police. What is your reaction to this?
My reaction will be maybe they just got the information since October. Well, my dear lady is here. Did they just get the information? That is why, they brought it to the public domain. That it could be the reason for doing that now. But these things the public needs to know. So they've brought it to the public domain.
Does it help the fight against corruption? The police is the institution that is supposed to investigate this and punish those involved. And yet it is not with the police.
Well, the NPP have brought the matter out. Yes. It's up to the police now to investigate and take action.
Is that the first? Is that the first option? If you are someone attempts bribing you, you bring it to the public first or to the police?
Well, the NPP cannot just go to the police, but they had to bring it out
to the public.
For the public to decide what should be done. So to me, it has
especially
to be,
in these political times.
This is a
very
out.
political situation. So
so we can conclude that it was put in the public domain because of politics?
No, I would not say it was brought, but it's an allegation. Something has been done. We need clarifications, so it needs to come out. One way or the other, it needs to come out. I'm not supporting anyone in this case, but I would also urge Mr. Bugri Nabu to come out and tell the public the truth about this thing. We need to know.
I'm grateful.
Thank you very much.
This is a women's leader of the NDP. Mr. Amadba, so key questions come to mind. First of all, how were the cars transferred to Mr. Bugri Nabu? Is there a relationship between the presidency and the man? And the fact that the NDC says that this is all cock and bull story. Is that the case?
Let me say good morning to your viewers. But in the first place, let me correct this. The Shiraj report rather vindicated the president of any wrongdoing. In fact, the same Shiraj was the one that vindicated President Kufuor when she was advising President Kufuor, and she did not choose and pick any of the sections of the Shiraj report. So let's be consistent.
All right. Okay. So now, okay. All right. I think she was just trying to make the point that in some one of the instances, Shiraj said that the president might have gone against his own code of.
And I'm saying that the entire report,
right. Okay,
vindicated. If I were also to look at President Kufuor's report, I would have seen something in there and choose and pick. Let's not be nitpicking. Let's accept what is the entire entire report. What does it say?
Okay.
Now, I know Mustafa Hamid very well. We were schoolmates at the university, hallmates. I know if Mustafa Hamid is speaking under duress, I know, and I can tell. Look, we are being told that the president attempted bribing Burinabu and he resisted. The first question to ask, how then did we get his passport size photograph to go and register the vehicle if he did not consent? I'm just drawing out inconsistencies. I'm drawing out inconsistencies, as every lawyer would do if this matter is brought before him.
So you're suggesting that he was there to sign the transfer form?
I'm saying that they said in their, I'm talking about the inconsistencies in their press statement.
Okay.
They said the man resisted, and I'm now asking the question. If the man resisted, how did we get his passport size photograph to effect the transfer? He must have consented. So that's one inconsistency there from their report. That would, from their press statement. Secondly, Burinabu, we all know, is an outspoken member of this Ghanaian society. We know. Burinabu, in fact, there are 3 of them in the NPP. You take Burinabu, you take the Kumasi man, the Ashanti region man, Chairman Untumi, and you take Kennedy Ayapong. These are people who will speak for themselves and will not have to wait for Mustafa Hamid to make press statement. 3, to give credence to their press statement, at least, I'm sure Burinabu is still a member of the NPP. I'm sure if for nothing at all, he could have been sitting side by side with the one making the statement. Did that happen? You see, we have a dossier on Nana Akufo-Addo. We don't need Burinabu to provide us with those ammunitions. As a party, we have a dossier on Nana Akufo-Addo that we can spew out if we want to smear him. Why? Just a week ago, their Nasara coordinator, is it not about nordness? So let me come there. Just a week ago, their Nasara coordinator said that there was an unwritten agreement in the NPP that says that nordness have been resigned to the deputy flag bearership or the vice presidential candidate, and that since 1979 it must be an Akan who will be a flag bearer, and then the Northerner will be a flag a vice.
And Kamadin is not here to.
I'm saying that. So did we bribe?
So you can move on.
Did we bribe Kamaruddin to do that? Did we need to bribe him? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. This press conference, I will describe it in 4 ways. First and foremost, it is dubious, it is bogus, it is silly, and above all, it is wicked.
Do you know of Marlin Investment?
I don't go about, I'm not the Registrar General, I can't know that. I'm not a Registrar General. Companies will normally go to the Registrar General Department and register their companies. I am not there, I don't work there, so I don't know.
Have you cross-checked since the news broke out?
The company?
Who owns the company?
I have just described the press conference to you. I say it is dubious. How do I check something like that? I say it is bogus. How do I check something like that? And I say it's silly. I will not waste time pursuing that. That is my opinion on this matter. Look, this press conference is more or less a panic reaction to the press conference that the Minister of Communication held, in which he ran down Nana Akufo-Addo and questions his professional competence. So this press conference, what is this supposed to do?
Shouldn't the party be interested in clearing the name of the president in this whole bribe saga? By finding out who owns this company and how the cars were.
I don't know why the two of you are impatient. I was quiet.
Please allow me to do my work. Ladies, allow me to do my work. I'm grateful.
I was itching in my legs.
Please go on.
I was actually angry when the two of you were making your submissions.
Oh, no, you don't need to get angry. We'll just say.
So
it's just a morning
the two of you should just allow me to make my submissions. So they've made those submissions. So if I'm going to talk, I should just say that police, go and investigate. And then I have finished, talk to them. I have to build my foundation and end that somewhere.
Please go.
As they did. A panic reaction to that press statement, press conference held by Omani Boama, where he ran down Nana Akufo-Addo and alleged that Nana Akufo-Addo, positioned himself as a judgment debt contractor when he wrote letters to the Attorney General long after he left office in 2011 that Great Cape were entitled to some payments. This press conference, this is how it's supposed to look like. I cannot find something wrong with you, President Mahama. I will create one. President Mahama, I cannot find something wrong with you. I will create one.
Your job is to clear that allegations.
Now, you know what? They've succeeded in doing something. Today, we would have been discussing the launch of the Kotukraba market. Today, we would have been discussing the launch of the what is it? The Kasua interchange, which is going to turn the lives of people. We all know how that road is. The number of hours we spend on that road. We know what a market can do for the women of this country.
So you're suggesting NPP has changed the agenda?
Yes, it is. They know. We are in this game together.
But they're showing us vehicles, they're showing us documents.
I'm saying that. What cannot be faked in this country? What cannot be faked?
The documents are fake.
Don't we have fake driver's licenses?
The documents are fake.
I'm saying that. Don't we have fake driver's licenses? Don't the police stop people?
We have.
And then when they check, it's a fake driver's license.
We have. Do you suspect these GVLA documents are also fake?
I'm saying that. You just answered my question, and you're asking me this question. Are there instances where the police will arrest people for having fake driver's licenses? It is different if I say DVLA faked it. I'm saying that people can fake these things.
The suspicion is that the documents showed on TV last night were fake. That's your suspicion.
That is my point. But I'm not saying that DVLA faked it. Now, one would say that it is now time for the police to zoom in. This is what you want them to say beginning. I won't say that. I will say the things I've said, and I'll now come here. I determine the way I structure my submissions.
But I do the questioning.
Yes, but I will answer you the way I want to answer you. Now,
all right.
Since
but get ready to wrap up.
Yes, since the car is an issue, and my friend Mustafa Hamid, we're mates. He knows me, I know him very well, and I'll tell him in the face. Since he has exhibited some documents, I think that this is not the appropriate time for the police to zoom in. Whether Bugri Nabu has made a report or not, the police are also seeing it. Impound the vehicle. And we will see whether the true owner of that vehicle will come out or not. And then investigations done. I am confident.
You're suggesting that even if the NPP won't go to the police
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Because they are alleging crime that has been committed. The police is in the position on its own to investigate these allegations. But you see, the modus operandi of the NPP, they use one of your own to attack you. When they wanted to remove Afoko, they used a person of another extraction to petition.
All right.
When they wanted to attack Grab, they used a gun.
I am trying hard for us not.
When they wanted to remove
history lessons
they
this morning,
used an Ashanti man to do it. Today, they've used my brother Mustafa Hamid, and I'm sure this morning he will be weeping for himself. That is the modus operandi of the NPP.
Okay. I'm grateful, Mr. Maliba, that denying this issue. So, Vicky, for let's wrap this one up briefly. For the NPP, the key thing is here: are you ready to hand over to the police now? At least you have made it public now.
Yes, of course. I mean, for me, you know, my brother made a couple of points that I want to address.
Okay, you can do that.
Yes, he said that bribery is not there, and etc. etc.
Yeah, but he earlier said your party has not told you why he wasn't there.
No, I don't know why he wasn't there. But the point I'm making is that it doesn't matter whether he was there or not. He is a bona fide
credibility to
a bona fide member of NPP. He has credibility as a member of NPP, and it concerns, this issue concerns the party, because after all, the outcome, the desired outcome from the NDC's point of view is to sort of affect, yes, the election. So whether it's Mustafa Hamid or another credible spokesperson for the party, it's neither here nor there. The other thing my brother said is that because he doesn't think, he says it's silly, is this and that, used all sorts of adjectives to describe the press conference. And because of that, he's not going to go to the Registrar General or whoever else to go and check. I mean, I find that most extraordinary as a lawyer, because at the end of the day, checking whether the company is in existence, number one, and who the officers are, is a very basic and simple check at the Registrar General. And if you are going to accuse NPP of manufacturing things and saying that it didn't happen, then at least the checkable facts, I think, should be the minimum level of inquiry that should be made before these kinds of accusations are then made. And then the DVLA thing was the other one. Saying that or suggesting that we came and faked documents. How have we faked documents? Is the car not there? Has it not got a registration plate?
It has.
So unless you are saying
but he
that
suggests they can be faked.
The registration plate.
Yes, and everything.
Yes,
they can be
everything in Ghana can be faked. Yes. But we as a party, will not come to the public and present a car with a fake number plate. I mean, for God's sake.
Are you also able to answer one question that he asked, that at the press conference, Mustafa Hamid said that Mr. Bugi Nabu resisted, and yet on the document we saw his photograph. Are you able to answer Mr. Maliba's question that if he resisted, how did whoever did the transaction got his photograph on the document?
But if he had not had his photograph on the document, even with his photograph on the document, even with a proper number plate, a legalized number plate on it, they are denying it. So imagine a situation where this didn't exist. They will say that we sat there and conjured the stuff from the skies. So, I mean, if you are going to make an allegation, you have to have a certain degree of credibility to back it, especially in these sensitive times. So that is the point. And for me,
you see, I was trying to find out, even before you go on, I was trying to find out, see, when you're transferring car, you need to be there to sign a portion, and his photograph is there. Mustafa Hamid says he resisted the bribery attempt, and yet his photograph is there. Can we explain why his photograph is there? Perhaps he signed, or someone might have signed on his behalf. Can we explain that?
You see, Bright, for me, this is very simple. Bogre has presented his side of the story. Let the NDC present their side of the story and show us evidence, not just allege, oh, we think it's silly, or we think it's not true. Or, after all, they have to show Ghanaians something other than words. Because as for words, dear, we can all sit here and utter the words. And at the end of the day, we are talking about an administration that is steeped in corruption. Everybody in Ghana knows. Where's the money?
Should NPP get Bugi Nabu to speak?
Is Bugre Nabu saying he didn't say these things, or these things didn't happen?
Well, he has not said.
Right, you see, what for me is the corruption in this country. And the corruption in every company. In every company, the CEO takes responsibility for for the actions of the company. In every company, the CEO, the head of the company, takes full responsibility for the happenings and goings on in the company. In this administration, there have been so many different instances of corruption at all levels. It's infested with corruption.
Allegations of corruption.
Allegations is Sada an allegation, is Wyoming an allegation. Even the Supreme Court of this land described Wyoming as a create, loot, and share. This is the Supreme Court. This is an NPP.
You said the whole country is infested, but you just mentioned one or two. So that's why I was drawing
Sada,
your attention.
Jida, I mentioned the Giddy Fowls earlier, the Chichinga, Pampas, Smarties. Oh, and these are all proving. This is not me sitting here and alleging.
Vicky,
so I would rather we deal with the problems in this country.
All right.
That is what we are here for.
Let me wrap up with you on this, Vicky. So, is the party now ready to return the car, the cash, and everything to the police?
The party doesn't want the car and the cash. The police can tell you, we are ready to the police. The thing is out there. The police should take action. Whether it's the police or Iyoko or whoever, they should take action.
Okay.
For us, you know, yeah.
All right. Let's wrap up with you, madam. So, which direction to go in dealing with this?
The same way, I would say that the police should take the matter up now because it is now in the public domain. We need to know, you know, the truth about it. So they should take it up.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Mr. Malva,
thank you.
Wrap up in 1 minute.
When we talk about corruption in this country, it is when Nana Akufo-Addo carried the drill ship. No. I have to reply to him.
No.
Carried the drill ship like a chop box and went and sold it out of this country, and the proceeds was not yet found. We cannot deal with it. You could have said those things. You could have said those things as a neutral arbiter when he was going on the corruption issue. Well, so you are not a neutral arbiter. You are not a neutral arbiter.
All right.
Now corruption. Madam, corruption is.
Madam, please,
don't even ask questions here. You don't ask questions here.
You just
on this platform we are at the
if
same
you have
level.
any reaction, I'll get
yes. So you don't ask questions here. You see, corruption is when a leader of a political party who had opportunity to deal with corruption within his party decided rather to shield corruption. And I'm talking about Afoko, who indicated that some monies were being taken from the party's account and stashed in an account. You find Nana Akufo-Addo, what did he do? He asked the man, he removed him from office. That is corruption. You look at the state of the NPP today, and you ask yourself, would you want Ghana to be like the NPP? You ask yourself, corruption is when a former attorney general who left office, what business has he got to even write a letter in 2011? Nana Akufo-Addo left office in 2007. What business does he have in 2011 to write a letter to the attorney general soliciting that some money should be paid to Great Cape? I'm asking Nana Akufo-Addo. Why?
Your point is that. Your point is that. Wrap up.
Nana Akufo-Addo turned himself into a judgment debt collector. This is the kind of person that you shouldn't vote for. And I'm saying that the people of this country have seen the good works of the president and they will retain him in power.
Daily Graphic has a front page story that says that vote for Ghana to preserve peace. 3 leaders urge voters. The story says that against the background of rising tension in the run-up to December 7 general elections, 2 religious leaders, a traditional ruler, have made separate appeals to Ghanaians to uphold the peace and maintain the sanctity of the elections irrespective of their political affiliations via the president of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, Most Reverend Philip Name, the National Chief Imam Sheikh Osman Sharabutu, and the president-elected President, National House of Chiefs, Toby Afede. Now, at the press conference in Tamale yesterday, the leaders called on Ghanaians to strictly adhere to the electoral laws and avoid acts of omission or commission that could compromise the outcome of the vote. So, simply asking voters to ensure the peace of Ghana. Madam Peace, let me start with you. Peace is key as we head to the polls next week. Have we done enough to drum home that message?
Well, to talk about peace, we need to put things in place that will ensure peace. We have to talk about justice. We have to talk about fairness, fair play. So far, a few things have gone on which hasn't been right. In terms of the EC. As at few weeks ago, a few of the political parties were taken out, and the accusations was that they had few of these, there were mistakes on their forms. It took nearly 8 weeks of their campaign time, dealing with case issues, these issues. At the end of the day, the court ruled against the EC, and now all those political parties, I think except one, are on the ballot boxes. Now, they are now going round campaigning. My party, for example, is now going round campaigning. Why? Would that be a fairness? Would that be fair? So if we want peace, things should have been done properly, I would say. But not forgetting that we have just one Ghana. So yes, we have done what we can, and I am using this platform to appeal to our members, the members of the NDP, to go and vote peacefully. I'm also urging the public to listen to what our flag bearer, Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings, is saying. She's here to help to change things around in the country. We have heard the corruptions that is going on, a whole lot of denial of things which we know they are facts, they are truth. So let's get an alternative. The two parties have done what they can. It is now time for a neutral person to come round. Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings is a leader who is there to say what is right, what is fair. She will deal with this country as it's supposed to be dealt with. So to me, when we talk about peace, things should have been done. Okay, it hasn't, but we are trying to maintain the peace that we need in this country. So I would say I'm urging everybody to try and listen to the messages that is being given. Use your time at the end of the day to decide for you, and vote wisely. Vote for Ghana. Don't vote for any what's the name? Vote for money. People are giving monies all over the place, and I don't think it is right.
Okay, all right.
But people should vote based on their conviction.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm grateful. Peace Aye is the women's leader of the NDP. Vicky, so Madam Peace talks about, peace, but justice. She's echoing Bob Marley's words.
Yes, of course. I mean, justice is important, and having free, fair elections are the key to our democratic sort of principles here. So for us, it's important that certain things are done properly. We've had all sorts of issues with the EC. I think this is the most the EC has ever been embroiled in litigation this period. But I think it has been useful because it has led to certain corrections. The only concern that we have now, I think, relates to the special voters register.
Right.
There are some names. I understand there are still names that are there that shouldn't be there, and vice versa. So I think these are being corrected, and so I think as long as they are corrected, we're okay with it. But we need to make sure that all the rules are followed, all the principles are followed. We are urging our supporters to be peaceful on the day, and just to, peace is a premium. I mean, we need it. We're a peaceful country. We've seen what has happened. Rwanda, all sorts of places around us that have suffered civil wars and atrocities, and have had huge development sort of backlashes as a result of electoral disputes and electoral unruliness. So please, NPP supporters out there, we would like you, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, and all of us in NPP, we would like you to go out there peacefully, cast your vote, protest against this corrupt administration, this incompetent administration, but do so peacefully. Do it with your thumb on the day and vote properly. You have to check the back of your ballot paper to make sure it's stamped by the EC stamp, and just vote peacefully and vote for change. Vote for change. Arise, vote for change. Make sure you vote, because supporting us from your bedrooms or your offices is not going to translate into votes for us. So please, we would urge you to go out there and do the queuing. We know sometimes it's difficult, the sun is hot, etc. And vote for us. Vote for industrialization. Vote for job creation. Vote for reduced unemployment. Vote for hope for Ghana. And we thank you very much for your support so far. And please turn up on Wednesday, 7th December, to make sure that the next president of this republic is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
I'm grateful. Vicky Bright is a former legal advisor to President Kufuor. Mr. Amaliba, so the call for peace, the president suggesting that the election will be peaceful, and several efforts at getting that peace that we need to move on after December 7th. Has it yielded the results? Do we see peace ahead?
This election is a two-horse race between Nana Addo and President John Dramani Mahama.
The NDP says it will make great strides in this year's elections. Nana Addo don't want to be the president.
So it's a two-horse race. Let me make my submission. It's a two-horse race. But you see, the character of the two personalities will come to bear. There's one who is violent, who has turned his party into a group that maims people, attack people, guard dogs. There's one who is also peaceful and has brought his party together. There's one who, whenever he is on the campaign trail, preaches peace, while the other one is always sounding like this country would burn. And I'm talking about the all die be die mantra.
So your party, the NDC, has also occasionally gotten into this kind of messy situations, and you know that.
Which messy situation?
Where the fighting in the party, you know that. That Ms. Obeda Samuel and Co have left your party due to some of these misunderstandings. You know that.
Right. I have divorced my wife 5 years ago. I have a new wife. You want to assess me with my new wife?
But all that that was said is also long ago. It was also said long ago.
Has he said that in these elections?
No, that be die was said by somebody who is still contesting.
But that's long ago.
But let me make my point. So it is about the character of the two personalities. The people of this country, you ask yourself, if you are a mother and you are leaving this country and you have your children, between the two of them, whom would you leave your children in his care? Surely one will go for the peaceful man, John Dramani Mahama. So it is going to be a two-horse race, and this government, under the presidency of President John Mahama, has provided for the needs of the Ghanaian population. When you look at the Human Index development, it tells you that this country is doing far better. We have reduced maternal mortality, child mortality, life expectancy has increased. We can now live beyond 50 years. We now live up to 63 years. Our neighbors live around 52, 53 years. And so when you look at the Human Index development, the provision of water, we have eliminated the Kufuor gallons. You remember those gallons, the yellow gallons? It's a thing of the past. We have ensured that this country is back on its feet. We are not going to be deterred by what our opponents say. We are focused, and that's why we will not spend time dealing with these accusations. As at yesterday, they were holding press conferences in Accra. What were we doing? We were in the hinterlands. canvassing votes. Come December 7th in the evening, when the votes start trickling in, then you say that they've stolen. You don't know that you were doing your politics on TV and on radio when the bulk of the work is in the hinterlands.
I'm grateful.
So, Bright, this contest is a contest between the two leading political parties, and I can tell you, come 7th December, President John Mahama will be crowned the victor, and this country will not burn as they have always said.
I'm
that
sure.
Without, but you see, it's the leaders.
All right.
It's the
Okay.
leaders.
So,
It's the leaders.
all right. All right.
It's the leaders.
All right.
What they say.
Okay.
What the leaders say.
I am sure. I am sure. I am sure.
Leaders, the leaders of this
I am
leaders
sure.
of the political
All
parties.
right.
What they say
I'm grateful.
is what
I'm
would
grateful.
bring about peace.
Okay.
If they begin to say things that would bring about
I'm grateful.
disturbance,
I'm
then there
grateful.
will be disturbance. If there's the leaders, those who are leading the political parties, what they say is what will determine whether there will be peace or not.
Okay, I'm grateful. I'm sure Madam Pisaya will also say that Nana Kuno Rawlings will be the president on December 7, and Madam Dekibra also says same. Nanado will be the president.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
I'm grateful for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Vicky Bright is a former legal advisor to former President Kufuor and a member of the NPP's communication team. Madam Pisaya is a national women's leader of the NDP, grateful to and a peace ambassador of the 2016 elections. And Madam Maliba is a member of the NDC and a legal practitioner. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time this morning. Wish you a great Wednesday and hope to see you some other time.
Thanks.